Hi everyone, this is Kaya. I haven't been on here for quite a while, but I just wanted to take a second because I just have something that's kind of been rubbing me the wrong way. I went to see the film, The Jesus Revolution, and for those of you who haven't seen it, it's the story of Greg Laurie and the Jesus movement that kind of came up through Chuck Smith, Lonnie Frisbee. It was kind of wrapping the story around Greg Laurie's life. But I have been hearing a lot of criticisms going out specifically towards Chuck Smith, a little bit towards Greg Laurie, the current today Greg Laurie, who heads a very large church, who actually funded that film. I think there was a lack of understanding. The film probably very intentionally left some pieces undone. One, because I don't think it was the role of the film. It wasn't the focus of the film. Two, because I think people were trying to be a little bit respectful of Lonnie Frisbee's journey. Since the film has been released, there have been multiple interviews with people who knew Lonnie. I just heard one from someone who interviewed his brother, and a few from his friend, and it's which I'm grateful for, because I think people are beginning to fill in some of the blanks that were kind of left unspoken intentionally in the film. My concern is twofold. One, people without hearing some of these other interviews that have come out are filling that blank in incorrectly with their kind of modern day church views on, really being like the people who walk in the Holy Spirit. Now, Chuck really missed the Holy Spirit. And so people are taking their biases of what they know now and kind of, again, filling that in with what they think might have happened. I heard one person, I think, who hadn't seen the film. I don't think she had, but her takeaway was that Chuck shut down the Holy Spirit and very much kind of didn't honor or see Lonnie's gifting. And the other piece that is bothering me is people are very intentionally knowing the whole story, still reaching those conclusions, and actually very publicly going on platforms, making really some accusations toward Chuck and a little bit towards Greg Laurie as well, for not portraying things in the film accurately. I'd like to say that what is bothering me is that it is so easy to walk in a lack of humility and in arrogance, and really in our immaturity, judging those who have gone before us without really understanding the full context of what they were walking in. This is going on in the world. We're wanting to judge our past history with the knowledge of our present. Well, God has been growing a people. We are his bride. He is growing us and moving us into maturity. We most definitely aren't walking in the fullness of that maturity, or we would be experiencing oneness that he speaks of. So from Abraham on, probably from Adam and Eve on, but definitely from Abraham on, God has been moving forward to grow a bride that to bring forth a bride who is grown and matured in love. And I think we need to be really cautious that we do not judge people based on where we are. When God came and moved back in that 1968, 1970 time, there are fireworks going off outside, so hopefully you can hear me. It's very strange because it's in the middle of a cold spell. I don't know who would be setting fireworks off. But anyway, during the 1968, 69, 70, during that era of the film when the Jesus Revolution was occurring, the world was in a bit of an uproar, kind of like we are today. But when you're in the middle of something, you don't see fully, you don't see clearly what is going on. And Chuck Smith carried what he knew to carry, and God chose him. He chose Lonnie. He chose Chuck. He chose these many people to steward this movement. People are broken. They move in their imperfections. They move with a limited amount of knowledge. We are not all carrying the full revelation. And so I think we need to be really cautious and check ourselves in humility, realizing we do not carry the full revelation. We all see in part. Still today, we all see in part. We need one another. Chuck saw in part. Lonnie saw in part. Now, I think to the degree that we walk with humility, that usually goes better, but as we're being grown, we bump up against each other's egos. We bump up against each other's theology, our ideas of right and wrong, our ideas of what God is doing or what he should be doing, or the fullness that we think is important in that moment. These are all areas where we all need to grow. So we have to be just very careful not to judge those who've gone before us. I am just very thankful for what Chuck brought into this world to the best of his ability, through his weaknesses as he partnered with the Holy Spirit to the best of his abilities. I'm sure God grew him. I know he did. I met Chuck after I came to know the Lord. I met him in 1986. He baptized me. The man was so full of love, so full of kindness. And he probably was a bit, I don't know, the movie even portrays him as being a little grumpy and, not understanding how things were going when the hippies were coming in. He was being stretched. The whole church was being stretched. But you know what? He opened his hands. He allowed the Lord to move to the best of his ability. He partnered with what God was doing and took a big hit for it. So the Chuck that I met in 1986 probably had really grown in love, grown in maturity. All of us hopefully will be growing in maturity. We're not going to be at 60, hopefully we're going to be in a different place than when we were 20 or 30. So I guess I just want to caution everyone to please just watch yourself when you're critiquing things from the past such as this, and realize we're all in one very long progressive story. Like I always say, from God is got this thread that is going through, and it's come through many people that have gone before us, and here we get the amazing opportunity to be a part of it today. So in humility, we just need to be thankful for those who have gone before us, even for the mistakes that were made and the things that we now do see more clearly, whether that be in our church history or be in our world history. We don't want to erase these things, nor do we want to demonize people. We want to learn and grow and be thankful for what we now know, and realize people are a mixed bag. Sure, there are evil people doing evil things, and that might not be such a mixed bag, but this most things are not that, although some are. So that's my caution to you. That's my encouragement to you today. And I haven't been on here in a long time, and I was just thinking about this channel, and maybe it's time I get back to it. Okay, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, and I will talk to you later. Shalom. Bye-bye.